Oh, hello there, yes. Bank holiday, travel chaos. But you know you're in the future because this time it was in the skies, yes. This morning, having rebuilt my PC, I realised it would be a good idea if I actually directed it to the microphone I wanted. Anyway, leaving that aside, today I want to talk about Mark Glendering, he of the IEA, who sort of the weekend was in quite a bit of our media. New IEA report, respected organisation, about transgender ideology. Yes, it's that particular word again. Yeah, it does get around, doesn't it? Anyway, a new threat to liberal values from the IEA Perspectives 3. I don't know what 1 and 2 are, but anyway, there's a reasonable summation of it using pretty much identical language in the Daily Express, which perhaps gives you an indication of what we're dealing with. I have read it, so you don't have to. There is a link down below. There is a general rule in academic writing that you don't actually quote pieces in the Daily Mail as if they're reality, unless you're writing a sociology piece on the media, and he falls into that trap. He also quotes quite a few people that live in 55 Tufton Street, which is an inherent problem in its own right, as anyone that watches anything by me knows. Anyway, I just want to come to his summary, which is right at the beginning of the report, and you can read this for yourself because it has a few issues, should we say. So let's get to the thrust of his report. Transgender ideology and the rights of trans people to dress or present themselves as they wish must be distinguished. One can challenge the former while affirming the latter. Yes. Now, there are a few problems with that, okay? That's a cake and eat it thing, right, okay? I don't have any problems with you and what you do, but I can hate the way that you do it, in essence. And when I was thinking about this yesterday, when this was sort of bubbling around in the back of my head, was imagine if someone said, I don't have any problem with Jewish people, I just hate Jewish ideology. It would instantly ring some alarm bells with you. But that's exactly what this is saying here. It's a catch-all situation. You can be whoever you want to be, but you can't be whoever you want to be because I associate it with something bad. Okay then? You're welcome to do that, Mark, but I don't see why you should get a platform to spout it. Proposed laws facilitating gender self-identification have serious implications for single-sex spaces, sports, and the internal functions of businesses and private organisations. They therefore warrant serious discussion and debate. Yes, they do. It would be nice if we had one, but we don't. There isn't one. The mainstream media, the vast majority of the mainstream media, is absolutely awash with stuff that is at best negative, shall we say, and at worst actually slips into just a kind of daily hate. You look at GB News, a lot of the stuff that comes out of that, I mean, you know, it's not just Glinner sitting in his bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning tweeting like mad. It's actually spilled vastly into a lot of the mainstream discourse, anything to do with any form of transgenderism, can use that as an ism, but anything realistically about gay people now is up for grabs. Yeah, you notice all of the stuff about pride. The moment a pride flag appears anywhere, the howling wolves are out. Anyway, leaving that aside, many supporters of transgender ideology do not aim to win the debate, but rather to prevent the debate from occurring. Well, yeah, whatever. You can label that any group of people at any time, anywhere. Yeah, that's meaningless. Supporters of transgender ideology in organisations such as Mermaids and Stonewall have claimed that gender-critical views such as denying the ability for people to change sex through an act of gender self-identification constitute hate speech and as such should be prosecuted. Yes, because that's the law. There are laws around hate speech. If you want to criticise people for mentioning the law, then by all means do that, but you might have a few problems when it comes to such things. I mean, one of the things that we are presented with, for example, Lozafox et al. On GB News and the rest of them, is the way that you're not allowed to protest about climate change. But if you vandalise cameras in London associated with ULEZ, you're a freedom fighter hero. It's astounding that double standard that's there. There are concerning indications that a future Labour government would introduce new hate speech legislation with serious implications for freedom of speech. And again, it's one of those, yeah, let's just make it up. The chances of any incoming Labour government, if we get one, doing anything are laughably remote. They simply won't do anything to upstream the mainstream media. So it isn't going to happen. It's easy to go, oh yeah, well, you know that person, they said that a while ago and it might just happen. It's not going to. That's just rubbish. Even under existing laws, people with gender-critical views have been subject to police investigation. Yes, because we have hate speech laws. And you might hate the fact that you can't say what you want, but the thing about free speech is that it does have implications. You have to live with the implications of what you say. Yeah, if you're Loza Fox, you can call people a paedophile, but then you have to go to court for it. That's the way that one works out. And you can moan about it, and you can say, oh, we'll just get rid of the laws. And that's fine, you can do that. But you then have to be subject to all of the backlash that will come with that, okay? Finally, last two. Transgender ideology must be seen as a product of the broader postmodernist approach, which views the concept of objective truth as both a fiction and a tool of oppression. Yes, which is where we get the whole Liz Truss, IEA, American libertarian viewpoint. This is part of a wider kind of, broadly speaking, anti-communist movement. They don't like to call themselves anti-communist, but it really is. It's just exactly the same stuff that we had in the 1950s and 1960s. Remember those people against the Vietnam War? Think about how history was really on their side. They were communists. These are the people that will tell you that MLK is a fine, upstanding citizen and we have to listen to him, not those horrible Black Panthers. But MLK was labelled a communist, a revolutionary. Nelson Mandela, Thatcher called him a terrorist, yeah? This is the world that these people live in. They see communism in everything, and they want to believe themselves that there is a huge conspiracy, because it makes their lives easier, a huge conspiracy amongst whereby everyone, like me, goes and sits in a huddle somewhere and comes back and deconstructs society because we've all agreed it. The liberal media elites. Yeah, look at me. Liberal media elite. It's laughable. Laughable. And finally, maintaining free speech in this area, as in others, is essential if we are to defend a liberal society based on rationality rather than coercion. Yes, rationality and not coercion. Just look at the output from GB News and Talk TV, the Daily Telegraph, the Daily Mail, the Daily Express, and tell me that that's based on rationality and not coercion. It's, people have to start pointing out how dreadful all of this stuff is, because it leads to some very, very dark places. We've known this historically for a long period of time. But the people doing this just don't care. They really don't care. They will talk to you earnestly about freedom and your rights when they will happily take them away from anyone they don't like. And it will be you. You will be next. Yeah. Anyway, on that happy note, do have a lovely Tuesday.